we are going to take the empty. We are going to start a new project. We will see that how we can work with the room database and how we can use our camera to take a picture and how we can save that particular picture inside our database and retrieving it back with the other data. Okay, so that's what we want to do this demonstration. So we'll start with a demo, empty screen, next, and then we give that particular what name we should be giving. Database with image and date. Fine. I want to use that one in my projects, and then I have okay, I just try to keep that one, copy it, and then I go my location where I want to save it here. I don't want it here. Projects, inside I have the OP, inside I have this is the, and let me see if I can put it this one here, and at the end we are going to put that particular database with the image and date, and then I click on the finish one. So it is creating that particular project for us. First of all, what we need to do, remember, we need to create the architecture or the structure of that our database. So when we are need that particular, okay, wow, inside our Java code library or the folder, I am creating a new package. Okay, so we say that data model, just to separate it from the other part of the data. Okay, so I say that data model, I want to create a new Java class, so we can say that this is our user class, simple user class, and inside that particular user class we can have the int SID or UID, user ID. We can have our string full name. We also have string username, and then we also have string password, and then we can also have our date. Okay, we need to have that particular date. Which date? Java util or Java, and then we can set it as our date of birth, and then we can have that particular byte array, and that will be our image. Okay, so we have all those what you can say, the objects. So if I just say control N, it will be a control N for you. For me it's max, or it's like command M. So when I say command N, it is asking us to, you want to generate a constructor, you want to generate a getter. So as you know that for the entity we need to provide those getter and setters. So we can say that we have a getter, select all those fields and click OK. It will automatically create those methods for us. And then again I say that I want to have the setters, again set all those fields, press enter. So we have all our setters and getter methods over there. One more the thing, I don't have an entity here. The reason is that we have not imported our room architecture here. So let me import that one. I'm just trying to use from the other project. I'm copy pasting here. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to go into the Gradle field. This is our application Gradle, and inside these dependencies we need to add that particular dependency of our room architecture. So what we are saying, that we have the room architecture 1.1, this is the version number, and here we have this one, implementation, and then this is the annotation processor, how we are going to process those annotations which are being given inside our entity classes. So once we have synced, I mean, if you look at that particular specific, say that entity, I don't know, but here when we are syncing, it will say that you need to import that particular entity. Or maybe I can just write, look, now I have that particular entity. When I press enter, automatically it has imported that particular specific entity annotation for me, and it is there now. And then again you can say that table name, users, this will be our primary key, at the rate of primary key, and then we can say that auto generate, and we say that true. Here we can say that at the rate of column info, and we have name, and we can name like, we can suggest name only. Okay, and then here we are say that column info, and then we can have a name, and then we can say that user underscore or username. Let me use that underscore as well. Okay, and then password, keep it like that. I don't want to change that specific password field name. Date of birth, keep it like that. Image, keep it like that, no problem. The other thing that I need to mention here is that particular specific, that I need to create that, tell this particular specific blob that will be binary data. So again, at the rate of column info, and then we are saying that type affinity, and then we say that column info dot below. Understand? So we are just telling this particular specific that what will be the type. We are saying that sorry, this should not be coming here, that should be coming there, because bytes. So that will become a blob type of the field inside our database. Is it clear? So we are just telling that particular specific thing over there. Other than that, we are all set. Entity is done. Is it fine? So we have this is auto generated, so we don't need even that provide input from the user. Only needs the user name, username, password, date of birth, and date of birth again, that's a tricky part that we need to see, and then we have that particular image. Is it clear? Any questions till now? So we have created our entity. Let me, now we need to create our data access object. So I say that I want to create a class. I want to make it a, I say that it's a user DAO. It's an interface, fine. And then here in that particular interface, I just say that at the rate of DAO. So now that particular interface has been annotated with the data access object. Here I say that I want to add the rate of query, select static from, what is the name? Users. and then of course we need to provide, it will return me a list of user and get all users, and then we can provide a semicolon here. So look at that. Similarly, if we want to insert a student, insert someone, we can say that it does not return me anything. Insert user, and then we can say that we will provide a user object as an input, and we will annotate that one as a insert. Again, we want to update user, and then we can say that we will provide a user object, and we will say that we want to update. Similarly, if we want to delete, it does not return me anything. Delete user, again we are providing the user as an input, and we annotate it with the delete. So we have insert, we have update, we have delete, we have getting the data. Is it clear? Any questions till now? We have created our DAO, that's it. We can make it that complex, whatever we want to do, but this is a simple thing. That's how you want to say something. What? When you say here primary key, then this particular specific thing must be provided. Other than that, we have not mentioned anything. So maybe we can provide that particular specific features here, or you can, during the implementation of your project, you can say that if the image is not there, sorry, we can't create the user data object, or we can't insert a database. We can put those, if conditions, checking all those conditions.
Does it come by default?
No, not by default. When you say add the date of primary, it's a primary key, that's a unique and not null. But for the other, you have not mentioned anything. If you want to specify, then you have to specify. Okay? So you have to, you can go into that particular annotation system of the entity when we are defining, and go into documentation and see how you can perform that particular, that's your self-directed learning. Go and see. It will not that difficult. You can just specific what you can say that inside this column, just like I said, type infinity is equal to column.blob, it means this particular data is going to be saved inside the blob type of the field. Similarly, you can have something column info, and you say that null or not null. You just need to set that particular specific setting for that particular column. It means if you say not null, it means the user must provide that particular specific value. If the user does not provide that value, it will not be allowed to be inserted inside the database. Okay, so you can do that, but that's, you do it yourself now. Is it fine till now? DAO, entity, DAO, and the third step is we are going to create that particular database. But before that, let's go and see if we can see, we can have that particular specific, we can take that picture and show it on the screen, and what is the format that is going to come in. So let me change that particular specific layout to the simple one. We have already talked about those constraints a lot, so let me convert it to the linear one, remove that particular specific behavior, and the other thing is I want to put the gravity here, that is center, and then I put my button here. I say wrap content, not match parent, wrap content, and then I say text, and then I say take picture. Okay, so take picture, and then I say that I want to on click event, I want to go that take picture method, and you know that what we need to do with that. Image view 250 dp, and then again 250 dp, and what else? Okay, I also need to make that orientation vertical. Orientation vertical. So now we have, okay, center fine. I need to, because I want to change the image here, so I need to provide the ID so that we can access it inside our database, inside our Java code. So what we can select, image or user image, then we can have to edit text. We can say that match parent and the wrap content. I want to put a margin of the 5 dp around it. Okay, and I'm just trying to use that particular, copy this one, and hint, give full name, and we also need to access it, so I will provide the ID here as well, full name. We have our dictionary here that will point out my English spelling errors. So I have that particular, second is the username. Okay, so here I can give the hint, and then I say that username, and then I again provide the ID to this one, and I say that that ID, we also have that password, user password, and then we also need to give the hint here, password, and then one more thing, remember that input type, it should be number or text, I think text password. Okay, so I mean it will show me static instead of that particular specific thing. Okay, everything is we have full name, username, we have the we need a date of birth, so we have added text again. I say no, we have copied this thing, so let me copy, control P, we have the ID, and then we can say that user date of birth, and then I give that hint, and I say that mm/dd/yyyy. So you have to provide that particular specific, what in this specific format you need to provide that particular specific date of birth. Okay, and we have that particular specific, where is our, so we have save and show the, so we have two buttons more. So we have button, I say wrap content, and then I say text, and then I say that what you can say, save it. No, and then we have button, wrap content, and then we can say that text, we want to show users. Okay, so that will start another activity that we will talk about later. And then we also have the on click. On click, we are going to say save user, and then we also have that particular specific on click event that will be show users. Okay, so let me create those methods inside, and then I think that let me remove this one first. I will just try to go and implement that part. Alt enter, create this method. Again go back inside this one, and then I alt enter, create this method. And then other thing is that alt enter and create this method. So first of all, we are going to implement that particular take picture method. Understand? This first method, the first step by step. So what is that? First, what we need to do? How we can start that camera? Remember or not remember? What type of intent we are going to use it here? Explicit intent. Do you know the camera application package name and everything, class name or something inside your own Android phone? Do you know that? No, we don't know that. So how we can start into explicit one? Implicit. We are asking the Android system that we want to start to use the camera which is available inside our Android phone, and we want to take a picture. And what we are expecting, we will start activity or start activity for results? Start activity. If we are starting the activity, camera take the picture, we don't want to get it back inside our application. We want. So if we want, then we have to start that particular specific intent, start activity for results. So remember that for start activity for results, yes, we can create an intent like intent is equal to what you can say that it's a new intent, and then we are providing the media store dot take okay action image capture. Yep, this one. So we have created that particular specific, and remember that if we want to start that particular, if we want to check that if we can resolve this one, so we can say that in intent dot resolve activity, and then get package manager. If it is not null, then we are going to start activity for, where is that activity? Start activity for result. Look, we need to provide that particular specific request code. Yes or no? So that we can receive the results back into our this activity. So we say that intent, that's fine, but we need to provide that particular specific. So what we can do? Public, or maybe I can just simply say that final int, and then we can give the camera underscore in intent, and I give some name, what, 51, and then here I say that camera intent. So it will start my camera, which is already there inside our mobile, and then it will take that picture and it will return it back. When it returns it back, we need to receive it back, and for that what we need to do? What we need to do? Which specific, how we can receive that result back? On activity result method, we need to implement, we need to override that particular method inside our activity. On activity result, and remember that it has a request code which should be exactly that what we are coming here. We have result code, and then we have the intent data. Okay, so we are making a switch on what? Request code, and then we say that case camera intent break, and that's where we are going to handle. We are checking that if result code is double equal to intent dot not this one, so we can check that particular activity dot result okay. Okay, if that result code is okay, then we are going to perform something on it, because if it is not okay, it means that there is something wrong with that particular specific action and we have not received back our data. Understand? So we have that particular data inside our this data, okay, intent object. We need to get that into the what you can say that from this particular data we want to get that particular information that is actually our data itself. So I say that I one more thing before I can do that. The reason is that, remember, we have the image view, and then we also have that particular specific we need to create that particular specific bitmap image. BMP image. Okay, so we need to initialize that particular image view here. Image view is equal to find by view id r.id dot user no, let me see what is that id that we have given here. We have that image view, it's a user image. Okay, so dot user image, that's fine. And then we also say that BMP image is equal to null. Okay, so here we need to get that particular data, so we say that BMP image is equal to data dot get bundle extra no get extras, not get dot get extras, and from there we are getting get, and we are providing that particular key, and that is our data. Small data. The other thing is we need to convert that particular into the BM bitmap. So from that particular intent, which is contains some extra data, we have say that our request code is exactly the same when we started our camera, and the result code is okay. Then we are from that particular intent which contain that image itself, we are saying that data.get extras from the extra data which is available inside the intent. We are getting that particular specific data, DATA data, and that data is actually representing the image, and we are converting that particular into the bitmap. Is it fine? And then what we can see, what we can do, if BMP image is not equal to null, it means there is something inside the BMP, it's not a default value, that is null. Then we are saying that our image view dot set image bitmap, not the image resource, because now it is not coming from the resource, it is coming from a bitmap. So image bitmap, and then we get BMP image. Is it clear or not clear? We are calling the camera with a camera intent request code, so that we can receive the image that is taken by the camera into our program. We have created the BMP bitmap image object. We are getting the data, provided that the request code is exactly the same of our camera intent, and then the result code is okay. Then we are reading the data from our data intent that is coming from our camera into our application and converting that into the bitmap. And then we are putting that bitmap into our image view. Is it clear? Run it, cross our finger. One more thing, we need to provide something inside our manifest file. So what is that one? So we have this use feature, then we have name android dot hardware dot camera 2. I think that's another thing. Let me see. So we can also make that it should be required true. It means if we want to install that particular application inside the Android system, then it must have the camera facility to install that particular application. Understand? So we are saying that that particular feature should be there. Otherwise, our application is not going to install on that particular specific. So let me run that one and see if it is. Where is my cursor? Here it is. So it's still Gradle running, building, running, and everything. It is the old one, which is you can see right now, installing the APK, launching the activity, and we have this one. When I say take picture, it is there. Your brilliant teacher, and I will just take a picture. Maybe we can. We can make it a. You agree? Okay. Thank you very much for being agree with me. I just changed that one. So now it's the imaginary image view. I take a picture. Okay, and then I save it. When I save it, where's my image? Okay. We are saying that set image bitmap. Am I doing the right method or what? Yeah, set bitmap. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Else, I just try to make toast, and if toast dot make toast this, and then we can have the message result not okay, and then we have toast dot short and dot show. And similarly in the else part, I also try to what we can say that toast dot make test this, and then I say that bit map is null, and then I say that I want to toast dot short and dot show. So let me see if it show me some messages here, because there is maybe it is not executing this particular line for us. So we can take a picture, we go there, and then we say okay, result not okay. Wow, what's happened? Activity dot result not okay. Okay, so let me do this thing. and let me make it comment. This particular part I want to make it comment. I don't want to check the result okay or not okay, and just want to show this thing, and then it is, let me see if it is working or not. We need to see that what is that particular specific result is. Take a picture, it is taking a picture, and yep. So we need to see that what kind of result it is going to return. Okay, so we have to look into documentation of that camera, what is going to be returned back. Maybe we can pass it, but keep it like that. We don't check. Normally we should be checking this thing. Okay, it is giving me the result code should be the okay. Maybe I'm using the this one, activity.result underscore okay is not right one. So let me see what is that particular problem is. But image is coming up here inside our bitmap. Now the user can give the value, username A Malik, password 1234567 8, and then 79. Okay, and then I click on the save, but right now we have not implemented the save part. And the other thing is, that's very important here. Right now the image is in the bitmap, not in the byte of array. Am I right? So we need to convert that into the byte of arrays. Then we can save it inside our user object, and then it can be saved inside the database. So we need a data converter that is going to convert that particular specific what you can say that that specific bitmap image into our string of array, or the array of bytes. So we need to that one. So let me first make that one. Okay, where is my cursor here? It is here. Yeah. So I just say that I want to, inside our data, again I say that I want to have a class. I say that it is a data converter, and that's it. Okay, so I have that particular specific data converter. I want to put some method here, public, because we don't want to create the object of this class. We just want to use that particular method. So we want to make that public static method. Public static, what it will take, it will give me a byte array as a answer, and what we can say that convert image to byte array, and then it will take a bitmap image. Now we need to return something. First of all, I say we have a byte array output stream, and then we say that stream is equal to new byte array output stream, and then we have image, no, bitmap image dot compress, and then we need to provide that particular specific three things. Okay, format in which we want to compress, the quality, and what will be the output stream. Okay, what will be the output stream? So we are saying that bitmap dot compress format. Look, compress format dot PNG or JPEG, whatever you want to use it, and then we have the quality that I say is 0, and then I say my stream, and at the end, oh sorry, we need to put a semicolon here, and at the end we say we want to return stream dot get dot 2 byte array. We have that output stream, and we are converting into the byte array and returning it from that particular method. Similarly, remember that whenever we are reading the data back, inside our user's object that is coming from our database, that image is stored inside the byte format, and we need to convert back into the bitmap, just like we have been doing here. Just to save the information image inside the user object and getting the user object from the user object, get that byte array, convert it into the bitmap and show it in the image view. Am I right? So we need, because we are in the data converter, why not we implement that method as a, again, public. Now it will be a static. It will give me a bitmap as an output and convert byte array to bitmap, or maybe I think we are using the image, so we are trying to use the same thing. And here we are going to give the byte, not the capital V. This should be a byte array, and we say that array. And then here, what we need to do? We are going to return bitmap factory dot decode byte array. We are decoding that particular byte array, and then we are providing array itself, that is the, and what is the offset, and then what is the length. So we can say that array dot length. So it is a bitmap factory which has a specific method which can decode the byte array and convert that into the bitmap and send it back. Is it clear? So we have those static methods which we can use anywhere in our methods. So now we come to our save user. When we click on that particular save button, then we need to save that particular. First of all, we need to create that particular user object. Okay, so we can say that user is equal to new user. Fine, that's a default behavior, default math constructor will be called over there. Now we want to see if the user has given some input or values or not. If the user has not given the input value, we are not going to save the information inside it. So first of all, we can check. Before we can check, we need to provide those added methods. Okay, so edit text, name, uname, that's a username. Then we have pass, and then we have dob. Okay, so we need to initialize those objects here. So we can say that name is equal to find by view id r.id dot user name, and then we can say that uname is equal to find by find by view id r.id dot user what is that? Okay, we have two names. Let me see, we have the full name. Okay, the first one is the full name, and the second one is actually the user name. Okay, then we have the pass, so we can say that find by view id r.id dot user password, and then we can say that we have dob is equal to find by idr.id dot user dob, and we have initialized those values. So now once we have initialized, then we can check if user name dot get text dot toString is empty, or now we are saying that if it is empty, that the username has not been given, or we can say that uname dot get text dot toString dot is empty, and then we can say that or pass dot get text dot toString dot is empty, or what, date of birth dot get text dot toString dot is empty. If anything is empty, or we can also check or the BMP image. Where is that our BMP image? Yeah, BMP image is double equal to null. Maybe I can just put it over there, or I can just try to put that one here. Okay, if this is the case, then what we need to do, because either one of the information is missing that we want to put inside the database. We just say or any one is true, it means there's something missing, and then we can simply say that toast dot make text, and then say this user data is missing, and then we can say that toast dot length short, and then dot show. In the else part, we are going to add the data. If we have checked it, if the some information is missing, then we will ask the user that we will give the we are not going to create that particular user. Even we can have that we don't need to create that particular user here. First we check if the user, all the informations are there, we are creating the user, and then we say that user dot set full name, and then what we can get, we can say that we have that particular full name here. Where is my cursor going? Sorry, not and. If we're using and, all of them should be true, then we will go here. It means if some information is missing, we will come here in that else part. If any one of them is true, we will go here. If one item is, you are saying if you put and over there, if all the informations are missing, then it will go to the else part. All the informations are missing, then it will go to the else part. But this is not what we want. We want to say that any one is missing, we will not go into the else part. We will remain in the if conditions and show that particular toast message to the user. Okay, or and all of them or only one of them. So if one of them missing, we are going to the if condition, not the else part. If all of them are false, then we will go into the else part, and that is, it means everything is there. So set user user dot set username, okay, and then we say that uname dot get text dot toString, and then we say that user dot set what you can say that set set that particular username, full name, password, set password, pass dot get string dot toString, and then what else we have, name, uname done, pass done, date of birth. Date of birth we need to do some conversion. The reason is that it is not going to be saved over there. So user dot set image, again we need that particular, so we are calling that particular data converter dot convert image to the byte array, and then we are going to give the BMP as an input. Okay, what's the problem here? Where is that problem? It says that int byte in the user cannot be applied. What we have done here? Okay, yeah, it should be byte, not the capital, not the class. So we are going to fix that our entity class here. There must be second one here. Yep. Okay, so now if you look at that, it's fine. It will be convert that particular BMP into the byte array and set that image over there. And then the last part is we need to set our date of birth. Set DOB. Okay, again that's a date that we are expecting. Okay, so where is my, I'm just going to copy paste, set date of birth. I'm just copy pasting instead of I just doing that thing. It's a simple date format. Okay, so we are saying the simple date format ddmmyy and then dot parse. I put a capital MM and then we have the user DAOB. So it's not a user DAOB, it is a DOB dot get text dot toString. Okay, it is saying that this particular parsing can result in the parse exception. So how we can going to handle it? Okay, so let me, I will say that surround with try and catch block. So this particular specific statement go into the try catch block, and if there is some exception occurs, it will go into that particular specific error catch block. Otherwise, it will just simply convert that particular specific string into the date and set that particular. So we have set the full name, username, password, image, and the date of birth. Anything else that we are missing here? So we have that. We don't need to provide the ID because it are auto-generated. We have the username, we have name, we have username, we have the password, we have the date of birth, we have the infinity. And the other thing that is very important here, before we can move forward, is the date. If we look into our date here, that's a date object, date class inside the Java libraries that's coming from the java.util.library. Okay, but inside our SQL, that is actually stored as a long integer value, not as a date object. So again, we need to do some conversion. We have not created our database class yet, remember that. Let me do it database first, and then I will show you that what is the problem here. So we go into that one. Now we want to create our database class. So I say that it's a class. So we say that user database. Okay, and I say okay, and it should be an abstract class. Okay, and the other thing is it should be like at the rate of database, and here we have some entities. Entities will be user dot class. Fine. What is the version number? Of course we say that it is 1, and then we have export schema is equal to false. I mean, it say that you want to export that particular schema that you have created here inside the entities. I want to make it false because there is, if I make it true, then it gives me some error message that we can't resolve it right now. So I try to make it simple. False. Okay, and then inside our this we are saying that we have a private static method users. We are saying that room base, and that will be user database, not the user room database, the exact look. Actually, I'm creating a static object of the same class inside this method, and then we are saying that our user db is equal to null. By default, inside the value is null, and then we are saying that we have a public abstract method which is going to give me we have the user DAO, okay, and it will return. It's a public method we are describing, abstract method, and we say that user DAO. It's an abstract method with the name user DAO. It does not take any input, but it will return me the DAO object that we have here. It will return me that object because all those methods have been defined inside this object, and then we use that particular object dot get all, dot insert user, dot update user, dot delete user. We are going to that particular user DAO object to call these methods. Understand? And then, of course, we need to create that particular specific. We say that public static synchronized. I will explain you what does that synchronized mean, and it will give me back a user database, and we said get db instance, the instance of that particular database. It will create that database for us, and it will take the context as an input. So in this particular method, we are going to create it. First, we said check if the user db is double equal to null, then we are going to do that. Otherwise, we are not going to do that. I mean, create that particular database again. If someone has already created it, some other application has already created it, it will just return that particular user DB object back to the. If it is not, it is the first time that this particular specific method is being called, then we are going to create it. What is that? User DB is equal to, remember that we have that room dot database builder, in memory database builder. So we are going to use the database builder, and from the database builder we are say that context dot okay, not the capital, small, context dot get application context. So that is the context of your database. Then we say we have our user database dot class. That is exactly the same class that in which we are writing that particular code, and then we give the name. What name? User 19 block 2. Okay, so that is the name of that particular database that will be created. And then here we are saying allow main thread queries dot build. Okay, so what's the problem here? Room dot database builder is say that user database for type T is not within the bound shall extend. Okay. Okay, we have not extend room database here. That was the reason. It say that I'm going returning a room database, but this is not the type of the room database, so that's why it's not a child of or the one. So that was the reason. So this is where I am saying that allow me to run those DAO.getAll.insert user, .delete user, those methods which are the database actions inside my main activity without creating a thread and so on. That is what I am trying to do here. And then at the end we are saying that with this option, allow me to run the queries on the main activity or the activity class, and then we are building that particular, and definitely after that we are going to return user DB. So that is our database class. If I try to run this particular program, it will give me an error message when we are going to submit, because this date object, and if I just try to make that particular date object not there, and then I also just try to go back into my user database is fine in the main activity. Okay, so that method is there. Okay, I just also try to keep it like this, because now this there does not exist any. So here I just try to make that particular comments. It will be fine. I will show you some specific issues, like when we are changing the architecture of that unit, that this particular one, then how we can resolve that kind of stuff without the date. Okay, we have set images and everything inside our main activity. Now we also need to save it. Once we want to save it, what we need that DAO object, and then we say that dot insert user. First of all, we need to create that one. So what we can do, we can say that user DAO, and then we can say that user DAO is equal to what? User database dot get DB index, and then we provide this, and dot the abstract method inside it, which is going to return me that particular DAO object. So what we are doing, because this is an abstract class user database, we can't create its object, and we have created a static public method inside get DB instance. So we are using only the name of that class, calling this DB instance method. It will create that particular database and database object, and from that database object we are trying to access that abstract method which we have defined, which is going to return me a user DAO object. So we are calling that particular method, and we are saving that information here. Now we have that user DAO here. Once we have set all the users informations, then we can simply say that user DAO dot insert, and then we can give our user object to it. This is, look, we create a user, we set the name, username, password, we convert that particular image or bitmap image into the like this one, and then we are saving that particular insert. Is it clear? We have not shown anything. Let me see that. Okay, so we are saying that it is not returning me anything, so we can't test anything over there. Toast dot make text this, and then we can say that insertion successful, and then we can say that toast dot short dot show. Okay, so we are just trying to make sure that we are getting some message over there. Take a picture. Okay, where is my cursor? Here. I said okay, it come here. Abbas Malik, username A Malik, password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and I say that 14 10 9 7 9, and then I here. Okay, I want too many times I have clicked on that. So let me run this again. Be patient. Take a picture. Where's my cursor? It's here. It is coming here. Malik, Malik, whatever it is. 14, 10, 1979, and then I want to access my save button. So look, insert successfully. Now the point is how I can check that it is successfully inserted. For that, I just go through with that particular specific, creating a new activity and putting all those things together. So let me do it quickly because we are going to use that particular specific recycler view, activity, empty activity. I say that show users activity, finish it, and we have those activity. I will just keep it like that. Where is my show activity? Again, I don't want that particular specific constraint layout. I want a linear layout. I want a orientation vertical, and then I say that gravity, I will say that horizontal center, and then what I need here, okay, I'm not going to use that one, but anyway, okay, this is not what we want. The reason is that I got a design view, I want a recycler view, okay, and it is already done, fine. I go into that one, and instead of having that particular specific orientation and this central activity, I will just go there and say that I want a recycler view. Okay, so this is our recycler view, and I also provide an ID to this one, ID user recycler view. Okay, and you know that because we are going to recycler view, we need a specific layout to show one item. So I will create a layout resource file, uh, user underscore item underscore layout. Okay, the main layout constraint. Okay, fine, I don't want. And remember that we are using the card view, so we are going to insert that one, card view. Let me do it quickly. I have it here, so I will just try to create that particular drawable layouts quickly, and instead of like having it completely from there, I am just trying to linear layout, and I just go there, and inside this one I am going to paste it. Okay, and of course I'm going to change that particular one to the card view, and I'm going to change some properties here. What are those properties? I would say that these are the properties here. Okay, so app namespace, alt enter, create the declaration namespace. Let me, I am missing that particular specific namespace here. Let me do that and do that so I can see it. I'm just putting that particular namespace. Okay, so now everything is set. So we have that particular name, we have date of birth, We don't have the date of birth right now. Okay, so what we need to do here, so we have name, and then we have, okay, I will keep it like that, date of birth. Later on I will show the date of birth. We are not showing everything, we are just showing the name, date of birth, and the image, not all the information inside it. Okay, so we have those that layout here, that is there. Fine, I will just close it down, and this is the main activity, show activity, find data converter, manifest file we don't need, user file we may require, database, okay, that's fine. And then we need to have that particular recycler view, so we can say that user recycler, and then we say that recycler view, no, it's an adopter, yeah, recycler view adopter. So that is what we want to do. I said okay, we have certain method that we need to implement. Before that we need to add that particular specific view holder class. So again I go and add that particular user view holder, and that should be a view holder, yeah, this one, view holder, that will be subclass of this one. And I say press OK, and here it is saying that you need to implement that particular, create the constructor matching the superior. And remember that we have inside our resource layout file, we have the card image, we have the card name, and we have the card DOB. Okay, so where is my user view holder class? So I need to create that image view because we need to change the values inside. So we say that image view, and then we say that we have the text view, and then we have name, we have DOB. I just keep it like that. Of course, we are not going to show the date of birth over there. And then we can say that we have the name is equal to item view dot find by view ID r dot ID dot card name, and then we have DOB is equal to item view dot find by view ID r dot ID dot card, that's a DOB, and then we have the image view is equal to item dot find by view ID r dot ID dot card image. Where is the card? Yeah, card image. Okay, so we have reset all those values. We have not implemented any click event here. You know that how we can do that. So we have card name, card date of birth, card image, and that is all done in the view holder. And here we can say that we want to use that particular user view holder, and then we need to implement those methods. Yes, we want to implement all of them, and you know that for that, first of all, I say that we want to have a list of user. We have this data, okay, and then we are going to create that particular user recycler view um, public constructor that will take the list of user, that will be users, and then here I'm going to create that one. What is that? We are going to say data is equal to users, and then here instead of returning the 0, we are saying that data dot size. It will give me the size of that particular list that is there. and then here we are going to return what we are going to return. We say that we want to create a view, and view is equal to let me okay, we have that main activity, and then we have the show user activity recycle. Okay, where is that one? So we have the layout inflator dot from, and then we can say that view group dot get context, dot inflate. We want to inflate, and then we had r dot layout dot user item underscore layout, and then we can say that view group, that will be the owner, and then we have false, and then we can finish this thing, and then we can say that we want to create a new user view holder, and we will pass that particular view as an input to this one. So it will create that particular specific view holder for us. I mean, again, that will be managed by the recycler view itself. And then at the end, what we are doing, whenever we want to bind the data, we need to do that. So what we need, so we say user is equal to data dot get, and we are saying that int I. So actually it's a list of users at a specific index value. We are getting that in our user object, and then we are trying to, we have the user view holder dot, we have the image view, okay, and we are saying image view dot set bitmap, but again inside that user we have byte array. We need to convert it back, so we have a data converter, becoming complex, data converter, and then we want to convert the byte array to the image. So we are going to say user dot get image. So we are providing that image to this particular method that will convert back into the bitmap, and that we are going to show in our image view. Fine, and then we have user view holder dot name dot set text, and then we have user dot get full name, and then we have user view holder dot dob dot set text, and then we have user dot wherever whatever you want to show it, get username, okay, so it will display all those things over there. That is all done. Fine, now we are going to very complex, main activity. So inside the main activity, first of all we need to create that particular recycler view. Not the main activity, actually this will be inside our show this one. Here we are going to create that particular recycler view, and then here we are saying that recycler view is equal to find by view id r dot id dot user recycler view, and then we need to create that particular uh, user recycler. User recycler is equal to new user recycler, and then here we need to provide a list of users, and that we are going to get from the database. How we can get from the database? How we can get? Can I make this particular specific object, that user DA object, as a public static? No, public static is not going to work. Reason is that we are initializing it here, so we can create this object inside our this one, okay, and then we are I'm just going to use a DAO object again, the same thing that we are done here. It will, of course, it will not create this thing. Okay, so now here we can say that user DAO dot get all users. It will give me a list of users. So fine. So we are passing that list of users from our database to our recycler view. It will have that particular list, and that's it. Then we can say that we have a recycler view dot set layout manager, new linear layout manager. I think, yeah, this will do the trick. uh, let me, where is my other activity here? Show users. Yeah, we are setting up the list array and then dot layout manager this, and then we also need to set the adapter here. I just want to make sure that recycler view dot set adapter, and that is our user recycler, and then we can yep, that's it. Run my application. No, 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 no. We need to show start that activity. So we can say that intent is equal to new intent, and we say this, and then we have show user activity dot class, and then this is an explicit one, start activity, and then we say that intent, and then we are going to run this application. And then I will show you that what's the problem with date, and then we also need to provide some converter for the date object in the Java into the long object, and that how we can set into our database class so that it can automatically do for us. Quickly show you that I have the information. Okay, okay, and then I say that full name is block 2 2019 B219, whatever it is, and then we have the date today is 17/04 2019, and I just need to click only one time here, and then I say save. We have successfully saved. It should show me 2 users over there. Okay, we have must make some mistake. It's actually there. We have two, but it's like trying to cover the whole screen user item layout. So actually, if we look at that particular margins and everything, so height should not be the match parent, it should be the wrap contents. So if I just try to run that application again, you will see that 2 records over there without any issue. We don't need to just show there. So you can see that we have these 2 records over there. Now, what's the problem with that particular date? If I just try to go into my user and I say that I don't want to make it comment, and then of course I need to uncomment these parts as well, it will give me an error message. The other thing is we have changed our schema. When I will change our schema and I just try to run this application, it will straight away go back. I mean, it will not even run this one. Compilation failed, output of the details. So if I just click on that, if I just here configure, so you can configure how to save the field, you consider the type converter and so on. So we need to have the type converter. Okay, so what is a type converter? Again, I'm just going to copy paste because this is already a long demonstration. So I just copy paste and I will explain you what is that one. Inside my type converter, I'm putting all those things. It's a type converters. Type converters. We have to date. We are converting that into the date, converting to from date, and actually we are converting the long information which is inside the SQL database into the date, and from the date object which is inside the Java code into the long, so that we have this one. And the other thing is that we need to go and again we need to provide that particular specific annotation with our database in our database class, that For the type conversion, it will go and check into the date converter.class. Okay, date converter class that we have created here. So let me run it. It will give you another error message. Show the users. It is giving me an error which is going into that particular error field. Actually, it is saying that something that you have changed your structure of your database and your schema has changed. You need to go and change that particular specific version number. Where is my user database? Go and change that particular version number to. And then when you say do that, and then you say that from the previous data which is already there, you need to make a what do you say, migration project, migration uh, thing, that how we can migrate the previous data to the new one and so on. So the simple solution is that it's again not the ideal solution, especially in the real field, real time. So what we go, that the name of the application is database with. So I will just go there. I just make sure that we are in the right. Yeah, this is the right one. So I just go there and I say that I want to delete, uninstall that one. When I uninstall it, it will be fine. It is remove that everything. So it is uninstall, and then now once we run it, we install that particular thing again. So now we can have that particular specific, what you can say that. And the other thing is inside our main activity, we need to uncheck this one as well. We are putting that particular data inside our, so we have that particular database. One more thing inside our user recycler, I will just show you that instead of getting the user name inside the DOB, we are going to get user DOB. Okay, and of course we need to convert it back. That's another thing, that is where we have that particular recycler daughter. So we need to data converter. We have this one. We have this particular specific method, and we are going to get that particular user.getDOB string.value of whatever that value of that data is, it will show over there instead of like, because that's a date object, it's going to return, but we need a string, so we are converting that into the string. Fine. So let me run that application, cross our finger, everything is fine. What's that? Application installation failed. Okay, what's the problem? Phone is starting. What? Why is this phone is starting? So let's see if it is working perfectly fine. Installing the APK. It is running. So we take a picture. Now there will be no data, of course. Okay. What happened? Where is my? Okay, guys. Yeah, it is coming up. Bit slow. Now it is tired, I suppose, huh? After this long. So we can say that OP. Hello. It is not responding me very well. OP AIC, OPAIC, and then we have 0101 2019, and then we can say that we want to save it. I just try to make another picture. click on that. Okay, wait, it's not responding. I think the computer has also died after this long recording and everything, huh? So let me, okay, yeah, it's coming. I take another picture, okay, and I say yes. Where's my, okay, yes, yes, I want to send it back. I say okay, okay, it is coming here. Again, I have the same information, doesn't matter. I will just say, maybe I can just change it here. OP Malik, just one thing, and change this one to 17 so that you can see the difference. Actually, then it will be. I save it. I just click it on here and show me. Look, it is showing me those two records. So now date conversion and everything is working perfectly fine. So we have those conversions. We have set that converter with our database. Okay, and similarly, whenever remember that if you are trying to save some Java objects inside the database, and inside the database they are being saved in a different way, then you need to provide that particular converter. So you can write those methods over there and tell the database this is my converter class where they can find that particular specific method to convert the data from the Java object into the SQLite or data type, or from SQLite data type to back into the Java object. So that will automatically managed by the converter database class and the GNOME architecture. So that is our small demonstration. Huh? Where is my, okay, where is my, yep, here it is. So I will just stop my video for the next time.